The first roster move of the Phillies season is here on April 20th, 22 games into the season. I'm going to break down all of that today, what player is heading to the injured list, and more, who's coming up from AAA and all that stuff. I do want to wish you guys a happy Easter. First of all, before we get into this video, thank you guys for watching, subscribing, and supporting us here on Phillies Digest. This is the best place to be for all things Phillies on YouTube. Before we do get into the video, I do want to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, to please do so. Just 35% of our viewers that are watching our videos have subscribed so far. That means just under 65% of you guys are not subscribed but are watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell next to it so you guys stay up to date on all things Phillies. We got our first roster move of the season this morning. Yes, Brandon Marsh is officially headed to the 10-day injured list, retroactive to April 17th, with a right hamstring strain. To fill his spot on the 26-man roster, outfielder Cal Stevenson was recalled from AAA Lehigh Valley. Rob Thomson spoke to reporters today before the game and said they're not necessarily worried about Marsh. It's more of just taking it easy and sort of having another option on the Phillies. Rob Thomson said, this is from Destiny Legardo from Rob Thompson's pregame availability today. Rob Thomson said that Brandon Marsh's knee/hamstring wasn't improving, so they decided to backdate an IL stint to the 17th. The team isn't sure if it will take the minimum 10 days. Probably not, he said. So the hamstring is a new injury. Obviously, the back of the knee, hamstring are connected. Once he's able to run at 100%, the Phillies will send him out for some minor league at-bats. Thomson said it's as mild of a strain as it can be. Marsh went on the IL last June with a right hamstring strain. He was out for 12 days and spent a couple of days in Reading getting at-bats. This, to me, is, I think in the long run, this might help Brandon Marsh a little bit. I think Brandon Marsh needs, a week to just relax, no baseball, take things easy, and just get the mind right. Obviously, Brandon Marsh going through a pretty wild slump to start this season. 0 for his last 30-something. I believe this might have updated since. But he still does not have a hit since March 30th versus the Nationals, the opening series. Marsh was doing some tests on the field yesterday. I will say I was down there yesterday, and honestly, he was running pretty quick. It was a pretty, he looked pretty healthy. I think it's just a matter of it's not really getting back to 100% where they need it to be. So this is just kind of a stint, I think, partially to obviously get the knee/hamstring better, but second of all, to get his mind right. The Phillies need Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh is a piece to this team, and obviously I think we all saw how much he's been struggling. He's 0 for his last 30. Things haven't been going well for him to start the season. So Cal Stevenson will be taking his spot for now. Who could forget the Cal Stevenson game last year? Stevenson actually had a pretty okay 2024. I believe he played 18 games for the Phillies, 6 hits, 2 runs, 6 RBIs. He hit 250 with a 708 OPS. Not the worst thing that you could ask for a guy coming off the bench. It's basically your last option off the bench. So this is the first roster move of the season, and I expect a second one to probably be here soon, maybe a third one soon. Weston Wilson is doing some rehab starts right now. The Phillies need Weston Wilson back, and the reason I say that is because the Phillies are very left-handed heavy right now. They don't have a ton of right-handed pop, as far as bench guys. They don't have a single guy off their bench other than Sosa, who's kind of been in and out, not really even a bench guy anymore. He's more of like a sort of hybrid starter/bench guy. A true bench bat. They don't have a right-handed hitter. They have Rafael Marchand, who's like 1 for 13 to start his year. He's obviously a switch hitter, but not really primarily a right-handed hitter. He takes more at bats the left-hand side of the box. Obviously you have Clemens. He's a left-hander. They need right-handed options. So I expect Weston Wilson to be back soon. He's been playing kind of all around the field down in Lehigh Valley, second base, left field, third base. He's sort of playing everywhere right now. So it seems like he will be back sooner rather than later. Same thing for Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez threw a bullpen at Citizens Bank Park yesterday. It's always good to see Ranger back, especially when he's gone. It seems like everyone was just in a better mood yesterday when they saw Ranger Suarez down the field. When I was down there, Ranger walked out, and he just had the biggest smile on his face. That is always Ranger Suarez. I've never seen Ranger Suarez not with a smile on his face. Get some vibes, a little bit back into this team. So Ranger should be back soon as well. I believe he's making 1 or 2 more starts down in the minors. It will probably be more towards the 2 side of things. I believe his last start, he only got up to 50 pitches. So the Phillies want to get him up into that 70-80 range, sort of before that they bring him back up. So Brandon Marsh headed to the IL. Once again, for Marsh, I think this can be a situation that can help him really in the long run. A guy who has been struggling and 0 for his last 30 and hitting a lot of balls into the ground. Marsh needs a reset. This is almost kind of one of those things where I think Marsh can go down, he can rehab, he can get his mind right, and he can come back, and he needs to treat it basically as just a complete reset and a brand new start to his season. His first game back in the pros, he needs to just treat it like opening day, honestly. A fresh start for Brandon Marsh, which is something that he needs. But obviously, once again, as we went over already, Rob Thomson doesn't seem like this is going to be anything serious. They didn't think it was going to be an IL stint. At first, it was very minor, but once it didn't really start to heal like they thought, they gave him an IL stint. The team isn't sure, once again, if it will take the minimum days. Probably not once he is able to run at 100%. The Phillies will send him out for some minor league at-bats. Rob Thomson said it's as mild of a strain as it can be. And once again here, Marsh went on the IL last June with a right hamstring strain. He was out for 12 days and spent a couple of days in Reading getting at bats. That's kind of what I assume is going to happen this time. I give Brandon Marsh probably a week, so 10-day. He's eligible to come off April 27th, so a week from today. So probably his first game back would maybe be next Monday. But once again, this is a piece that the Phillies need. Johan Rojas, though, with Marsh being out the last few games, is starting to hit the ball really well. I believe Rojas is over 350 now. His OPS is over 800. He's really started to hit the ball well. Rob Thomson has said in the past that Johan Rojas plays the best when he's in the lineup consistently because he gets in a groove and he shows that he can hit the ball. And there's the big doubt with Rojas has been at the plate. Can this guy be a major league hitter? And maybe he's not some everyday starter, but he is a guy that if he gets into a groove like he's in right now, he can really hit the baseball. He's had a really nice last few games, and the Phillies are lucky because it's been a rough go for the center field position to start, but Johan Rojas is starting to get comfortable out there in center field. Jesus Luzardo on the mound today. The game's starting as I'm recording this in about 10 minutes. Jesus Luzardo versus the Marlins going for the sweep. Happy Easter once again. The Phillies kick off a 3-game series tomorrow versus the Mets at Citi Field. Aaron Nola will be on the mound. But first, they have to take care of business today. Drop your thoughts down in the comments if you've made it this far. Give me your final score for today, how many strikeouts Jesus Luzardo will have, and one guy that's going to hit a home run. That's what I want from you today. Final score, exact Ks for Luzardo, and one Philly to hit a home run. This has been the newest episode of Phillies Digest. One more time, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. My name is Arcaini, and I will see you guys next time.